Hello, women of welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is one of our frequently asked questions video, and so I wanted to address a question that comes up a lot when we talk about conversations around immigration and how it impacts the US economy and how it impacts US workers. And so one of the questions that people ask a lot is, do immigrants take jobs away from American workers? And so a couple of things about this. So typically when people are talking about the future of the American workforce, they're talking about the need for increased education and skills that American workers are going to need. I know in my kids' school, there's a lot of talk about STEM education, STEAM, this move towards engineering, technology, math and science, all of these kinds of things. And so that's a lot of what people are talking about when they talk about the American workforce. What sometimes is not included in those conversations is a recognition that we are going to continue to need workers across all skill levels, across all sectors. And actually let me see who it is that says this. I'm going to check my notes. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics was talking about how between 2014 and 2024, so this 10-year gap, they're saying 8 of the top 15 job categories that were expected to show the greatest growth required no formal education credentials. And so you have to think about jobs like personal care aides, home health care, food preparation, retail, cooks, construction, all of these kinds of different jobs that have often been addressed by immigrant populations. And so they're saying that they would expect those jobs to increase by 2 million, by more than 2 million in that 10-year period, representing 21% of all new jobs. So that is a huge increase in those positions. And the reality is that as we are continuing to push education in the US workforce, people are less inclined to look for some of these jobs that maybe only require a high school education or less. Similarly, and this is one of the things that we've talked about recently, as the US has started shifting our family-based immigration system to more of a merit-based, is that when we start to skew towards accepting immigrants with high levels of education and skills, that also means we're maybe turning away workers who might be more interested in filling some of these other jobs that require a greater bandwidth of skill and may not require these specific degrees and credentials. And so it's actually interesting. We just shared this week, there was an article in The Hill talking about a potential new immigration push towards expanding our temporary worker visa program, which would actually encourage more immigration. This is kind of a departure from what we've seen coming out of kind of the policy sector recently, but it really shows how there is this need as we see unemployment rates going lower. Then you see businesses continuing to look for jobs. Or look for workers, to fill specific jobs. And so one of the ways that that may happen is through some expansion in our temporary visa policy. So I will share that article. So if you ever go to the files section of our private Facebook group, you can see not only this video, but also I'll include some of the links to articles. And there's even a chart that shows skill level and education requirements for different occupations between now and 2024. So hopefully those will be helpful resources for you as well. All right, thanks for watching.